Are we live?
That was
Are we
a
live,
really
everyone?
fucking
Stop! Hey,
hot-headed
Tyrone!
shit.
Good lord, dude. We're not even a minute in. We're not even 10 seconds in. Good lord. What is up,
We're
people?
calling you real late American politics. Back with it.
Okay,
at
to
the
Tyrone, you're
debate.
done. Tyrone, you already no. No, we're not doing this today. Let me just do my intro, please. Can I do my intro, please?
No.
What is up, people of the internet? That is me, Real American, back in with a new stream, and that is right. We are live on this beautiful December 9th, 2025, and we're joined by Mr. Poster Tubbs and Tyrone, as you can obviously tell, being rude like usual.
Rude motherfucker, you were late by 3 minutes. You deserve to get a little bit of shit today.
Oh, gosh. So, we have a lot to talk about today. We got to talk about President Trump being on the campaign trail. We got to talk about Trump's approval rating slowly but surely going back up. We got to talk about a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff's going on in the world. Before we get into today's stream, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. These are all great ways to support the daily content. And if you do have any questions or concerns or want to support the channel even further, the best way is sending super chats via the chat. Again, I will read through as much chat as possible, but usually super chats are the best way to get your questions answered. I'm sorry for being a little bit late. I was objectively late today. I had some stuff going on. Sorry about that. Couple super chats go through. Jared the American for 2. Could use prayers right now. Lost my grandfather recently. Oh, damn. Prayers for Jared the American. That sucks. Yeah, it's hard to lose a grandparent like that. Wild and Crazy Bear for 2. Trump needs to go after Johnson and Thune more. I agree. I think both. He kind of said something yesterday, but we'll get to that. Go on.
Johnson's not bad.
Well, yeah, he has such a shit majority, and
Johnson's issue isn't that he's bad. He's good. The issue with Johnson is that he's trying to control a house that's just in borderline open rebellion against him.
Well, I mean,
not because of him, but because of Trump.
Yeah, and we'll get to freaking MTG in a second, because yet again she's going around the news circuit and saying dumb shit like usual. Spikes for 2. Fuentes making some good points recently. Well, yeah, ever since he's become more mainstream, he's been a bit more mellow on some of the jokes. So, yeah, he is becoming more mainstream. And I mean, he went at Piers Morgan, I think, last night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was in Piers Morgan very, very recently.
And it sounded like it. I mean, you know, of course it's Piers Morgan, but it is somebody that's, you know, very relevant. So, all right, we got
his interview with Piers Morgan was actually pretty good. I watched clips of it.
I watched a couple of clips of it. You know, I didn't see the whole thing yet, but it seems like, you know, he knows what he's talking about, and he's definitely toned down some of the stuff he said. Obviously, you know, some of the stuff he said were jokes, but you know. All right. Jacob Martin for 5. Barristan Mitchell claims that the Trump recovery polls are fake. Wait, but Rasmussen literally found Trump's approval going up.
Yeah, and Barris's own poll found Trump's approval going up. So it's like, what? Your own polls are fake, Richard?
Listen, this whole thing, like, listen, I can understand, like, that Trump's approvals were going down objectively. We're not going to be those people that pretend otherwise. Listen, that's what I hate. People that lie about the numbers and say, well, actually, it's going great for Trump. No. Now, some of the polls were obviously bullshit, like Reuters. What's the other one? CBS News. These pollsters suck. But this idea that the polls were fake or they weren't fake, but now they're fake again. What is he talking about? And you know what? Let me pull up the RCP average right now. Okay? Let me pull this up. Because I'm getting...
The polls are fake. The polls are fake 1 second. But they're real the other. And there was no change in terminology. There was no change in methodology. And there was no change with anything with the process. You're just saying it's fake because you don't like the number. Either A, you are lying out your ass and you know it, and the polls are fine. Or B, the polls are just totally fake, period, and you shouldn't trust them whatsoever, and going off vibes is unironically preferable.
Yeah, and I don't think Mark Mitchell said that because he's, you know, obviously Mark Mitchell says some stuff we might disagree with, but most of the time he's, you know, level-headed on some of the stuff. I was surprised Bear said that, though, but Mark Mitchell's a good guy. Mark Mitchell's a good guy. I've talked a little bit. Okay.
Bear is not insane.
Yeah. So I got Rasmussen's polling right here, and like Trump's approval, it swung 2 points overnight. It's still not good, but it went back from -12 to -10, and his strongly disapprove went up a little bit. Again, it's not good, But we are seeing across the board Trump's approval is ticking up, like in the RCP average.
He has higher approval at this point in time than Obama and
Yeah.
Bush did on there.
I would pull that up.
Secretary of State.
Thank you for bringing that up because I made a whole point about this yesterday on a tweet I made. Let me pull this up. Yeah, right here from Real Clear Polling, which by the way, they actually follow me. I'm surprised by that. But yeah, I got it right here. So President Trump right now, and this is with some shit polls, he is still polling much higher than Obama in his second term and Bush in his second term. Obama was at 40%, and Bush was at 41.5%. Trump's at 43.5%. Yeah. So President Trump's approval, it's better. And that is still, we're not even taking out the garbage polls like Reuters. What's the other? It's Fox News is the other bad one. I think Gallup had a pretty egregious one, like -30 or something. So, Tyrone, say something.
Dude, I'm eating right now.
No, people are saying your audio's quiet. It kind of is. What?
Yeah, no, my audio kind of fades in and out depending on where I am. It's a cellular thing.
Okay. Yeah, people are just wondering about that. I'm just making sure my audio's good. Tubbs, say something.
Hello? Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully I sound
Is
good.
my audio working?
You sound fine to me, but I'm not listening to
You can speak really loudly if you need me to.
Huh. That's, yeah. I don't know about that. That's not a flex. Oh, I'm not saying it's good to be like only slightly better with Obama or Bush, but guys, Trump is a very unique politician for obvious reasons. So for him to be above Obama and Bush when they were in much, you know, how do I say this? They were much like more favorable electorates.
Hey, Luke.
What are we talking about?
Okay, why
Your
is
mom?
okay? No, it's okay. So why? Okay, why is Discord quiet? I don't get. Hold on. No, try now. It's like Discord's like stop. Okay, Tyrone, no, you're done. Tyrone, no, stop.
I said poo poo doo doo head. Are you serious? Come on, man.
Why? I don't know why OBS is doing this today. Are you freaking serious?
OBS is trying to silence real American politics.
It's like
very
capped. What the hell? Okay, let me just. Okay,
Real American
Stop.
was the moderate.
oh gosh. Okay, I'm gonna just like leave the Discord for a second. I don't know. Okay, chat. Can you guys hear me properly? Why the hell is Discord acting up today? Let's check the audio settings, I guess. Chat, is it can't hear anyone? Well, people are complaining about it. Okay, now my audio is wrong. What the hell? Audio is fine. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna join back in and see if it works. Okay, everyone chill. Everyone chill. Okay, I don't know what's going. Audio is fine. Audio is broken. I have no clue what's going on. It's fine the entire time. I don't know. I literally have the audio pulled all the way up. I don't get what's going on. Oh, shut up, guys. I'm trying to figure this out in chat. All right, chat, chill out.
What are people in chat saying?
They're complaining about they're complaining that it's fine, and then somebody says it's not. Everyone else is very quiet. I don't know. That's Discord's fault or something. I don't know.
Wait, let me. Okay, I'm gonna leave real quick.
And
I'm
freaking
gonna
YouTube
listen
crashed again. This is really starting to irk me today. I'm not having a good day, as everybody could probably tell. Not having a good day today. My God. How do you screw this
I'm
up?
hearing it. It's fine. It's fine on my end. I'm listening. You can hear it clearly.
You can?
Yeah, Boston also just DM'd me saying you're fine. Yeah.
It says it's very, people are saying it's very quiet.
I think people are trolling you, I think. It sounds fine on most people's ends.
This is stupid. It's just capped for no reason.
Can you guys hear me clearly? Like, or do I have audio issues?
No, we can all hear you clearly. I was just listening. Everyone's fine. People are trolling you in chat, Rob.
Thank you, chat. Thank you.
Someone's getting thrown off a building today.
I will
Okay,
say, if anyone's having like connection issues, it's on them because me, Boston Nationalist, and several others are able to
okay,
hear.
okay, chat
clearly.
on the chat. Like, can you hear me, chat?
Okay,
They- they
enough,
can all-
enough.
Okay, we.
Okay, so say something, everybody. Okay, so I don't know. Discord's acting up. I can tell. Now I can hear. Discord's not acting up on my end. What the hell? That's weird. Okay, enough of that, chat. We had a bunch of boomer moments. Good lord, I'm not having a good day. I'm having a really shit day. So, Tristan
You
for
tried having a better day?
Tyrone, I am not in the mood for your bullshit today.
Uh-oh.
Tristan for 2. Barris has a D+1 generic ballot, by the way. I saw that. Yeah, I don't know what he's panicking about if it's D+1.
No, I gotta tell you guys this. We are like Dems are like collapsing right now in the generic ballot
Yeah.
on
Okay.
RCP.
I don't know why people are treating D+1 as this bad thing. Wasn't 2018 like D plus? Or what was 2020?
D+8.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
the generic ballot is now currently redder than 2020. This is what I'll tell you. And not the polls for 2020, the final results in 2020. This is what I'll say. Last week, Thursday, Dems had a 5.5 lead on RCP's generic ballot. Now it's down to 3.9. Okay?
No, it's down to
We're making it-
3.7 now.
Oh, it's down even more today? Let's go.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
again,
D+1 is objectively really fucking good for us.
Yeah,
I don't know why people are fucking treating it like it's the end of the world. That is splendid.
D+3, which the average says is good for us, let alone D+1. D+1 would be phenomenal. We win the House easily. We probably win most of the competitive Senate races in that environment.
The
Like,
only
yeah.
ones we don't win are like maybe Michigan. Maybe Michigan.
No, Michigan. I think we win the Senate.
No,
because
we'd
we
win
did it
Michigan in that case because I think Rogers is going to run ahead of the generic ballot, kind of like John James did in 2018. by a few
So what
points.
Senate would we would we lose in a fucking D+1?
Maybe North Carolina, just because like Watley is so far, but we'll see though. That's the one thing I'm kind of like.
Watley's catching up. He's catching up.
That's the one race I'm kind of. I think we're in very good positions in Michigan, Georgia, and New Hampshire. I think we're in very good positions in those states.
yeah, I agree. Okay, I might have fixed the audio, everybody. Might have fixed it. There we go. Okay. A couple of super chats to catch up to. K-Cup for 2. Johnson is a GOP speaker with a Democrat majority. Yeah, when you have people like MTG running around, what do you expect? Simple Logic for 2. Why is Tyrone so quiet? I mean, volume-wise. Oh, God, not this again. So, Simple Logic for 2
I'm
sounds...
going to ignore all complaints about that as intentional trolls from here on.
Yeah.
For the rest of the stream.
Simple Logic for 2 sounds better now that I can hear. It must have been YouTube being freaking YouTube. I don't know. American Nerd for 2. How does Trump doing more rallies fix everything? Well, we'll get that in a second. We'll look at it.
Let's just hop right into it if that's the last super chat.
Yeah, okay, so let's actually get to the story. We had technical difficulties. I fixed it. I had to go to OBS and just something's up with the gain stuff. It's not working.
Yeah,
So
that was that. Yeah, look who's fucking late. I told you not to go get dinner or lunch. Should have fucking starved Max, yay.
Okay, to be fair to me, I had to go to the 7-Eleven and get some gas station tacos from Laredo's Tacos and a couple packs of On.
Okay, Laredo Taco Company. Anyway, we are about to discuss the Trump rallies. So the question that was originally posited was, how does Trump doing rallies help the ballot? What are you saying, that having the president go around the country and support Republican candidates doesn't help Republican candidates?
Okay,
Yeah.
It's
okay.
like just such an outlandish claim.
I will answer this in a more, how do I put this, like a more methodical way. There is the argument that Donald Trump holding a rally could boost Democrat turnout. This argument was made in 2022, and I don't really think it really made sense then. It definitely doesn't make sense now because Democrats are going to show up no matter what. Trump is in office. Trump is the antichrist of these people. He is to them what like actual demons and like Satan is to a lot of Christians. Trump's existence on the ballot, like Trump's existence in office, is going to boost Democrat turnout. There is no downside. All you're doing is getting Republicans who may not be tuned into politics to show up to vote in order to support the president and to support conservative
to compound on your point about the Democrats, not only that, but we have Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, and we have birthright citizenship under review at SCOTUS, which are arguably bigger court rulings than Roe versus Wade, which had already turned out Democrats. So not only do you have Trump in office, you have two literal corner. Abortion was like a cornerstone social issue. Voting rights and birthright citizenship and the retroactive undoing of it, those two are literally the bedrock for how they make the math when it comes to getting people to go vote for them. So you bet your fucking ass that they are going to go out and vote for the Democrats against Donald Trump in his attempt to overturn democracy and replace it with a Christo-fascist totalitarian super state where women are forced to read Handmaid's Tale.
Oh,
I'll just say,
jeez.
yeah, the joke about the hand jobs tale aside, there is
Bro.
a big, yeah. Those are two important things. If
Oh,
birthright citizenship
jeez.
goes away, and more importantly, short term, if Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act goes away, Democrats will not control the House ever again. They will not ever control the House. Not in our lifetime. Not unless they make radical gains and are winning like 60% of the nationwide vote, because that's like 20 House seats in the South. That's not just 20 House seats. That's 20 House seats taken away from Democrats and given to Republicans. If that Voting Right Act goes away, one, Texas might redraw a second time if they really feel like it.
Yeah, Texas could redraw, and we could look. Well, what is it? We could get it down to a 38-2 map or something like that.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't risk it.
I would go that
Yeah.
far.
I would definitely nuke another Dallas seat, another Houston seat, and maybe El Paso. You could split El Paso into two Trump 2016 districts that are both.
I'd say
majority
nuke El
Hispanic
Paso,
anyways.
nuke a Dallas seat, nuke a Houston seat, and honestly, just destroy as much political representation as the city of Austin could get.
I would do Austin. I would do San Antonio, because San Antonio is moving right more.
Okay, that's fair.
And it's a lot easier to crack. Anyways,
Oh, jeez.
it's a lot easier to
This shit cracks San Antonians.
Oh gosh.
Anyways, San Antonio is a lot easier to split up, and because it's moving so hard to the right, that like 70 to 80% Democrat like urban core of San Antonio is gone. It'll be under 60% in the next decade.
Yeah, you can so crack a San Antonio seat, crack a Dallas seat, crack a Houston seat, get rid of El Paso. Maybe you know what, in that case, consolidate Austin, consolidate I-35.
I disagree, because my parents live in New Braunfels, and I don't want to be represented by a libtard. It's kind of fun.
All right. American Nerd for 2. Ready. American Nerd for 2. Men, how does it fix the economy / cost of living? Well, it really does it, but the idea of Trump doing these rallies, and I got the article pulled up here. Today he's going to Pennsylvania. I think it's today, and they're going to begin they're going to begin doing campaign rallies again, or these type of events, and they're going to focus on cost of living and affordability. Now, on paper, does this magically fix inflation? Like, does Trump saying inflation's down means it goes down? No. I mean, that'd be funny if it did happen, but him doing this, the reason that this is kind of important is people's perception of the economy is so bad. And when Trump is like saying like, oh, guys, the economy is the greatest ever, inflation is below 0.
The economy is the greatest it's ever been. No, it's not.
Yeah,
but
it just it rubs people the wrong way. That's what I'm trying to get at. It rubs people the wrong way.
That's the big thing. It's one thing to say, hey, we're working on the economy. I know it's not perfect. The economy is improving, and we're seeing big improvements happen in the economy. But
you literally, like a case example, the rent has gone down for the 4th month in a row.
Yeah.
Like, you need to point out that things are getting better. Things are still bad, mostly because of Joe Biden being in office. things are bad, they're getting better. The problem is
Yeah.
he's not saying that. He's saying
That's got to be the
everything is
messaging. Yeah.
he's saying everything is fixed. There's no affordability issue. Why are
It's
you
the golden
complaining?
age. It's the golden age.
Yeah, guys, it's the golden age.
He either says it's the golden age and everything's cheap, or he says affordability is a Democrat, or like it's a made up issue by
It's the
Democrats.
shit that the Biden admin did. Remember Bidenomics? Remember how that
Yeah.
went?
I will say that it
Bidenomics.
sounds like the messaging now is going to pivot a lot. Now that he's going to be traveling, he's going to be bringing people up on stage and they're going to be explaining kind of like how their life has improved a lot of and I think he does need to fully switch from like everything's great.
I agree.
And I think just the messaging too. Where do people see him? He's in the gold-plated Oval Office talking about how everything's fixed. You know, that's
Well,
what
yeah,
it looks
that's what I'm saying.
now.
Like
What Trump needs to do, in my opinion, you guys will remember this. We talked about it on stream when it happened. When he was elected and inaugurated, Javier Milei said to the Argentinian people, "Yeah, about this economy fucking sucks, but don't worry. When I'm done with it, it's gonna be good." Just do what Milei did.
Yeah.
Be honest and say everything is fucked, but I'm going to do my best
And he
to
fixed it.
fix it, and then it's fixed. And then he won re-election by a larger margin than any pollster thought he would.
Well, it
Wait,
was the
who-
Not that
midterms.
hard.
It was the
That was the
midterms, but
midterms.
close enough.
But
Yeah.
still,
The
yeah.
terms, yeah.
Who won re-election by large?
Miley.
Malai
Milei,
didn't.
Milei.
Malai's not up, but Malai's pulling
Yeah, I
out.
misspoke.
Yeah.
I misspoke. His midterms. His party won the midterms by a larger margin than anybody had been able to poll. That is how you win. That is how Trump could set the Republican Party up for victory, and that is how Trump could set it up so that Vance has as large of an advantage going into 2028 as possible. Because the second a Democrat takes the White House back,
We're
we
dead.
are all fucked.
You know, and here's something with your guys' thoughts on. Do you know the moment Trump surged 2024? You know when that happened?
When after he got shot?
Well, of course, that's when he kind of like that I think won him the election. But you know what I think really gave him like the big victory at the end?
What?
The podcast tour.
I don't remember that, but that was because I was at basic training for the Army, so I have no idea what
Yeah,
that
so
is.
basically that's when he went on Joe Rogan and stuff. He went on like 100 different podcasts in like,
Yeah,
in
it
like
was-
a 2-month span.
It was Vance and Rogan. Both Vance and Rogan went on. What the fuck am I saying? Both Trump and Vance went on Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn at different times, obviously.
I remember
Vance went
Trump
on-
going on Theo Vaughn. Yeah.
Yeah, he went, and it was a bunch of podcasts. It was like 20 of them. It was like every other day he went to one. I think that's what he needs because right now he's stuck in the White House. It's an echo chamber in there. That's the issue. It's such an echo chamber in the White House.
Trump, this is something that I've said before, and I'll keep fucking saying it. Trump is most subject to those who he surrounds himself with and those who he listens to. When Trump goes out on these rallies and he talks to the common American, you guys have all seen the photos. He goes out, he does gags. He's a dump truck driver. He's a McDonald's fryer. Like when he does that shit, he talks to the people who does that shit, and he talks to the people who go to his rallies. That's when he really tunes and locks in. But when he's stuck at the White House, and this is why the second half of his first term sucked, because he started being in the White House more and more, and fucking schmucks like Jared Kushner had his ear more and more. People, I'm not insane for remembering it like that, am I? Like
No,
that's
you're
literally what
right.
it is. That's literally what it is. The issue is that Trump doesn't go out enough. Trump doesn't go and
God, he's so real for this.
What?
Anyways, he doesn't go out.
Oh, jeez.
He's
Well, that's
he's
the,
just like
well,
me
he's
for
a-
real.
that's the
Yeah.
issue with President Trump. Like he is somebody where like he feeds off the crowd's energy, and when
he
he goes,
feeds off the crowd's energy. He feeds off the ideas of the people he surrounds himself with. So when Trump surrounds himself with people like Susie Wiles and all of these other dipshits in the Senate and the House who are the mainstream people, then yeah, obviously Trump's not going to be great. But when Vance or Miller or Besant have Trump's here, he does really fucking well. So
Shout out to Besant.
So you want to know how Trump going out? Yeah, Besant, he's my favorite fucking catty gay guy. I genuinely love him a lot. He's
Scott
so
Bessent,
hilarious.
Scott Bessent is hashtag our gay. He's our gay. We
Dude,
love
him getting catty and making that one reporter think about her weight while talking about it.
No, he literally said, I'm not kidding.
So gay.
Word for
I
word,
love
he said, you get on the scale every morning.
Oh, listen,
Yeah, that
Jesus,
was
dude.
but yeah, no. You want to talk about how to make Trump fucking think and like he was? You want to make you want to talk about the Trump that won 2024? Get him out of the campaign trail. Let Vance handle the administrative shit because he needs to be able to learn how to be president soon anyway because he's gonna be up in 28. So yeah, leave Vance and Miller and Besant and Wiles and all of them to actually run the fucking White House. Have Trump be on the fucking campaign trail. Have Trump talk to actual Americans again and ensure Trump's messaging is on fucking point because the more his talking is on point, the more he directly boosts Republican turnout.
Yeah,
That's
the
what
thing
people
we need to
understand.
do, we need to make next year, we need to make the White House turn it into a re-election of Trump. That's got to be the
That's what-
message. That's what
by
we
the
got
way,
to make it.
perfect enough.
It's
Susie-
already like that for
Yeah.
Democrats. You lose nothing by doing it for Republicans.
Yeah,
Susie Wiles already said that it's-
2026 midterms. The midterms need to be a referendum on Trump.
Also, Trump's approval is like roughly where his favorable was last year. Like, this isn't like Trump is in the gutter. Like, he's
They're
about
both up.
as unpopular. Like, yeah, he's -10 now in approval. He had about like a -8 to 10 favorable in the exit polls last year. So
And he still has a higher approval rating than Obama or Bush at this point in their
But no,
term.
that's
Exactly.
actually a bad thing. That's what people are
and
saying.
significantly higher than Biden did 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I was say, Trump's okay. Here's the thing: second-term presidents tend to get kind of unpopular. I'm not saying it's the exact same dynamic because he had a term out of office, but Trump is still more popular right now than he was in 2016. He's about as popular as he was when he won re-election in 2024. Like, there's no argument really that Trump's approval rating has cratered. That we're looking at a
He's in
30 years.
He's in one of the most popular times he ever was. Probably the highest you will ever see his approval was probably in like December and January of last year.
That
He
was
was
crazy.
plus 5. That was ridiculous.
No, some
Yeah.
polls had it like plus 15 for crying out loud. It was insane.
Mhm.
Like we knew that wasn't gonna last, but like again, like there were some mistakes he made, but people understand like even to this day, these voters are still that say they somewhat disapprove of Trump, they still would vote for him. They
I
would
was gonna
still
say-
vote for him.
Dude, I personally disapprove of what Trump is doing right now with everything outside the border, but I'd still go fucking vote for him. And I know that this is the mindset of the majority of Republicans because everybody fucking understands the alternative are gay race communists.
I have 2 things to say about this. One,
I will say we have a
Um,
new Candace Owens take.
Oh God.
I don't care. Let's talk about people that are actually relevant right now.
okay, I will say this. This is kind of important. 2 things.
I just took a
One-
piss on the part.
One, there are 2 all the like you guys remember the Harris Harvard pollsters that have Trump at Trump is at like -5, -8, -10 in the polls.
Yeah.
Those same polls, when they ask the question, if the 2024 election were to happen again, who would you vote for? The same polling sample that says like -5 Trump is like Trump plus 6 against Harris. These people are not like diehard libtards with like conservatives with like buyer's remorse. These are people who, for one reason or another, whether they think he's not doing enough or whether they think that he's just a little too extreme, but these people all still prefer him over Harris. And another thing, this is important, a lot of Trump's negative approval and a lot of Trump's drop in approval rating has come from one group, and that is voters under 40 or voters under
I was
35.
going to say the majority of this disapproval is coming from younger people, and we know for a fact, thanks to Mark Mitchell polling this. Thank you, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Oh jeez.
That these people would still vote for Trump, but they're pissed off he's not doing enough. These are people who think Trump is not going far enough, and that is why.
It's that, and it's also this is a midterm election. Those guys don't vote anyways. They're less than 20% of the electorate. Even if Trump's approval rating, I would actually be kind of worried if Trump was like above water and it was because he was like plus 30 with Zoomers, because that says that that's going to be a lot of voters that approve of him but are not going to show up in a midterm election. The people who actually do show up, like boomers or Gen X, they are actually like they're like not even -5, -3. Boomers are
Boomers,
barely
Gen
disapproving of
X,
him.
yeah, boomers and Gen X go vote for candidates when they approve of them. Boomers and Gen X go vote when they feel like things are going good. Gen X and millennials go vote when they feel like things are being bad.
Okay.
So
And Gen
with the
Z
older
doesn't
demo-
vote.
Yeah, Gen Z just doesn't vote.
I vote. I voted
Also, I'll say
for,
too that Yale Youth poll had Gen Z. It was only voting blue in the midterms by like 17, which isn't that much worse than
Well, and
24, especially given the
And it was
approval.
like yeah, he was like -30.
Yeah.
These voters, they're not going to vote. I mean, this is like the worst. This was like the last month worst
the
case.
worst they'll do is sit out. The worst
Yeah.
they'll do is sit out.
And people understand
And
like
we can afford that. We can afford that because most of the lib ones aren't going to be voting anyways. So we
Alright.
can
Here's
afford
here's
that.
how it is. The worst case is that these younger voters don't go vote in the midterms. We can already kind of assume that's going to be the default. We can also already assume Democrats are going to vote no matter what. Our base assumption for the midterms is already close to the worst case scenario. You have absolutely nothing going against you by getting Trump out there and going and talking and doing rallies for people to actually mobilize voter turnout. Our worst case is already close to the current situation where the people we need to go vote for us just kind of don't want to vote, period. And the people who we don't need to go vote are going to go vote anyway.
Well, I wanted to bring up this.
Go ahead.
Sorry, no. What I was going to say is like oh gosh.
God damn it, go.
What the thing with these polls is like this is still like we're not talking about what next year's environment's going to look like. We're in like the worst environment for Trump possible right now, and Democrats are barely winning the generic ballot by like 3.
Yeah, we're in one of the worst cases that Trump has seen in his time in office and time out of office for the Republican Party, quite frankly. And the most they can do is D+1, and you still have polls saying most people who voted for Trump would go vote for him again. That's pretty bad, considering all things, but that's also pretty good, considering all things, because that still means we have a shit ton of voter retention.
It's as if voters are like I've been saying this. Trump's approval's down not because they think, oh, he's failed. He has gone too far. People are just upset he's not done enough on some issues. And these dumbasses don't understand that. These people really think, no, Trump is losing because of the ICE raids. That's the reason he's losing.
I found the Yale poll, and these are the crosstabs. 18 to 22 was -30 for Trump, but it's only D+15. 23 to 29 is -34, but only D+16. And 30 to 34 is, what is that, -36 and D+20. These are not, that is a 10 to 15 point difference. 10 to 15% of young voters disapprove of Trump and are still going to vote for him and are still going to vote for Republicans in the midterm.
Here's why that's bad news for Trump.
Here's why that's bad news for Trump. Trump's approval rating among 18 to 22, 50% strongly disapprove. Democrats are at 48% of the ballot with those voters.
Yeah.
They're not even winning. They're not even winning. They're winning like not even like 90. They're like what 80%, 90% of strongly disapproved voters are voting for them. And that's it.
Yeah,
it's a whole lot of undecideds, but still, that's not good.
That's what people understand. Like these voters, this is again in the right now the current environment's pretty bad for Trump. Imagine it in a year. What's going to be next November? We don't know. Obviously,
it's not good for Trump, but. If one of the worst case scenarios Trump could be, if this is a really bad, I mean, would you say it's a worst case scenario for Trump? I wouldn't say that, but
I would say, imagine going back to 2017 and tell like the Republican strategists back then, everyone would be dooming today about Trump being -10 nationally. They'd
Yeah.
be like,
I mean,
he's only -10 what? Did he cure cancer or something?
yeah. Well, on top of
Yeah,
that,
here's the fucking thing. Here's the fucking thing. Trump -10. Like, it just overall with these numbers, yeah, this is not looking good for Trump. But if the math, here's the thing: the people need to understand the math. If this is if this is mathematically pretty bad for Trump, but Democrats can still only garner +1 in the environment, I don't know what the fuck to tell you other than holy fucking shit, dog. This is still decent for us, all things considered. If anything, that should highlight to you just how bad the floor has gotten. It should tell you just how bad the ceiling has gotten for Democrats.
yeah,
What
I mean,
what was Trump's approval in the exit polls in 2016? Could someone pull that up?
in
Or, like,
2016,
Like, what was his approval?
it was
Oh,
like
his
negative
favorability.
30 or something crazy back then. It was
No,
nuts.
what was his approval in 20? I'd also like to say this: the New Jersey exit polls back in 2017, Trump's approval was like -32 in New Jersey, and this year it was -13 in New Jersey. So like,
Still
And
kind of
that was-
insane that Trump was -13 and Ciancarelli lost by like what, 13 or 14?
Yeah, and by the way,
oh, you know why? 8% of people who approve of Trump voted for Mikey Sherrill.
yeah,
Oh my god. Bro.
and by the way, on top of that, people don't talk about this. That was a Harris +10 electorate. That was Harris +10, and Trump lost by
so
like
let's-
5.
Yeah, so Harris +10 electorate, 5% of Trump voters went and voted for Mikey Sherrill. That math still accurately checks out to that stuff still roughly correlates with Trump's approval being what it is and what the environment for the Democrat looks like right now. I'm sorry, but like this math, even though this is kind of pretty bad math for us, this math is still worse for the Democrats. So there's absolutely zero reason not to pull Trump out of the fucking White House and have him go out and take photos with people and listen to people and start listening to people again with their woes and their issues. Because that is literally the only way that you are going to be able to get Trump to energize our voters. We have a voter turnout issue. And the best way to get especially younger people to go vote is to have Trump listen to the young people and let more competent people who know how to do this shit, like Vance and Miller and all the staffers from Heritage, handle the actual bureaucracy of the White House. Because I guarantee you, if Trump just not hands the keys of the kingdom per se, but if Trump tells Vance and Miller, hey, daddy's going for milk, I'll be back in a year or two from my national rally, here's the keys to the kingdom, have fun, we're going to see so much shit happen, and Trump's just going to be able to take credit for it. And by the time 28 rolls around and we have Vance running, he's going to say, yeah, I more or less ran the White House while Trump was gone, and you guys can I did a
Fake
bunch of
me
shit.
for
That-
my job.
Controversial opinion. I would not be at all against Trump leaving office after the midterms. Maybe not
I've heard about
directly
that
after the
idea. I don't think
midterms.
he's going to, but
I don't think he's going to, but I think if he ever, I think if he has even a single health scare, he needs to resign after the midterms and let Vance take over. One, because I think Vance is better on the policy and better on the issues than I think Trump is. Which, if you were to tell me that 10 years ago, I think you were insane.
10-year Vance
the,
Reich.
the problem with
10-year
Trump
Vance
is
Reich.
like,
Yeah, 10-year Vance Reich. Because here's the thing: if Vance takes office after January 21st, 2027, he'll be eligible for those 2 years, the rest of Trump's term, as well as 2 full terms. We get a full decade of Vance Reich.
all right, I got a bunch of super chats to go through, guys. Let's see here. Tristan for 2. Could Corder flip Harris County against Crockett?
Yes.
Okay.
He could.
Simple Logic for 2. No one has talked about 2032 after the census. Yeah, nobody will. When they redo the census, that's going to be just that's going to open a lot of people's eyes.
We have to wait. Look, the 2030 census is going to be a real fucking zinger for a lot of people.
Because they're going to realize like how bad it really is for like the citizenship thing.
Dude,
Say.
you know how there were like certain projections of like, oh, California might lose. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say the number. I'm not gonna meme it. You know how people are like, oh, California's gonna lose 6 or 7 seats, and Texas
Six,
is gonna gain
7.
like Texas is gonna gain like 6 or 5, and Florida's gonna gain like 5 or 4. Dude, I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I want to point out? All of those estimates, right? You know how we were talking about like what would 2030 look like with all the illegals deported? Like what back when Trump was just back when Trump just got reelected. You remember all that discourse?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I looked into it. You know what the assumption of how many illegals in the country are with those numbers being estimated?
Tens of millions.
10 to 30 million. And we have plenty of circumstantial and anecdotal and even statistical data to suggest there are anywhere between 50 to 100 million illegals in this country.
Yeah, I mean,
Think about how fucking bad of a bloodbath census reappointment is going to be for the Democratic Party if our numbers that have been shown to be even greater than the wildest estimates back then of how many illegals are in the country actually have. Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if California loses up to maybe 10 House seats. Think about how crazy that would be.
Well, people gotta understand, like, there are so many people here that were like, they lied about their visa status, they lied about their immigration status, they lied about they crossed border illegally. They're just stuck in California. Nobody wants to admit that. There's a bunch of them in California that just sit there. So that's the issue. There's
I will say
millions.
Here's another thing. Assuming that we do get the whole like if we get illegals off of the census, they're not included in redistricting. One, it's important in terms of California losing seats. Texas might not gain as many seats because we do have a large illegal
Florida,
population.
Arizona, Idaho, Tennessee, they're still gaining proportionally.
They're still gaining proportionally. But two, this is even more important. Large urban cores, urban democratic cores in this country are propped up by illegal and legal immigrants who cannot vote. There are many congressional districts, state house, state senate districts that are excessively smaller than they should be because they are counting illegal aliens in them. There are
The
districts
Somalis,
where
for example, the Somalis. Think about how there are at least 80,000 Somalis we
There's
know
more
of
than
in
that. Let's cut this
Minnesota.
shit. There's way more than
The,
that.
the bare bones minimum estimate, 80,000 Somalis. That is enough. I'm pretty sure that's not quite enough to axe a House seat in Minnesota, but that is still enough to get. I guarantee you the math would line up to where that makes at least one seat there more competitive.
yeah, and also
That's
like,
Minnesota.
think about how many seats. I'm not saying like there's going to be like a 30 seat movement like a nationwide in
Think
terms
about
of
how many
redistricting.
Jeets.
Think about how many think about how many seats have to be redrawn because 30% of their population is non-citizens. They can't legally vote.
That's a conspiracy theory, though.
They have way more voting power than your average rural district, which is 99% citizens.
Well, and that's
You
the whole
want to
thing.
talk about?
That
You want to
violates
talk about states that are
arguably-
going to hit?
That arguably violates one person, one vote.
It
If
does.
there are districts with 30% more voting power than another district because they're being propped up by people who cannot vote and should not.
That's why I laugh at these people that say, well, the Senate's like undemocratic because North Dakota gets 2 and California gets 2. Yeah, how many seats does California get because of illegals for the House? How many?
Think about it like this, right? All of these, New Mexico, Illinois, California, Washington, Oregon, Massachusetts, massive two shits, New York. Think about how many of these democratic states, Maryland, have these outrageous gerrymanders and have these massive illegal populations. Oh, think about how many illegals the Texas Republican Party and the Florida Republican Party have to fucking dance around when it comes to number statistics when creating new seats. I guarantee you, we're going to like if you got rid of all of those citizens, sure, Texas and Florida might lose some population, but that stands to benefit us because that just makes all of these districts more red. That means there's a lot more leeway with drawing out these major cities in Texas, in Florida. Like, am I wrong? Am I wrong?
I mean, you're right.
We're not talking about just how many congressional districts are these blue cities going to lose when it comes to find out that a sizable amount of their voter constituencies are illegal. We have to consider these large cities.
Damn it. Damn it.
I
Florida,
can't believe he died.
Ohio. Hi, hello. Can you guys hear me?
You're dead.
Yes. You're back now.
Okay. Think about how many of these major red states with major illegal populations like Texas within cities. And I can tell you right now, I know Texas has a lot of illegals. I look at that math every fucking day. Think about how many of these major red states are going to get even more red by removing all of these illegals from the equation when it comes to the census. Because we already know that the fucking colony over north of Houston, they absolutely contribute to how blue some of those seats get over there.
Okay. Got a bunch of super chats to catch up to. Let's see here. Oh, where are we at? American Nerd for 2. Maybe Trump should say things are getting better. Well, again, he just has to change the messaging. Don't say it's all perfect. Just say things are getting better. That we said about earlier.
It is objectively getting better. I mean, people are noticing it too with because people are wondering why is Trump's approval ticking up. I think the gas prices are a big one. Recently, they've been really coming down a lot. So I think that's
rent's going down.
Playing in
a lot of stuff's going down right now. So. Jacob Martin for 2. Remember when Susie Wells interacted with Rappin' X? I remember that. American Nerd for 2. Give rid of Wiles to promote Miller. Perfect world we would, but sadly Wiles is there. Though I am hearing there's a lot of smoke surrounding no one being forced out by Miller, which is funny, but
here's what I'll say about Wiles. She was good for the campaign.
Well, she's a good campaign manager. That's it though.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah,
that's why I'm saying you need to put. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm saying you don't. That's why you don't necessarily. Sometimes the people who manage campaigns aren't the best people to be chiefs of staff because they're always going to be in campaign mode. They're always going to just, especially when you were running an out of power campaign trying to get back into power. Like, she's not going to really be able to sell what we're doing right now because he was used to like campaigning against shit that was going on. You know what I mean? So it's really not the easiest. Job. It's not necessarily even her being full, it's just that she's not really suited for this role.
The Democratic Party understands all power is temporary if you cannot hold on to it, which is why they pass shit. Trump needs to grab Susie Wiles and they need to hit the campaign trail across the country for the midterms, and then Wiles needs to be replaced so she can be Vance's campaign manager for 28.
Right.
Wiles needs to be removed from power in the White House, and she needs to be put in charge of running the upcoming fucking nonstop back-to-back campaign the Republican Party is going to engage in for the next 3 or 4 years until we can get Vance elected.
Okay, but speaking of like Wiles and them, it sounds like Kristi Noem's being forced out. By the way. It looks like she's being forced out at the end of the year.
And potentially replaced with Glenn Youngkin.
That is I think Youngkin should be put in like a charge of like.
I don't get it. It's
economic stuff.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like Youngkin in charge of DHS doesn't make as much sense.
I would say like who's somebody you put in DHS because Miller would never get the votes in the Senate. That's a problem. But who'd be a good one?
You could put Miyares in charge. He might be.
Listen, I don't know, and I'm here to pay a body. She might be forced out now.
Tony, hear me out. I have a bold take. Garcia from California.
Yeah.
Mike Garcia, I love that guy.
Really?
We're gonna put Mike Garcia. He's gonna win the unanimous vote.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Mike Garcia for DHS. Jason Miyares if Bondi actually goes.
There's a lot of smoke surrounding Bondi now.
Bondi, I think, is getting replaced with our good friend Andrew Bailey.
Why is he? I still don't get that. Why is Andrew Bailey in the FBI? Like, why? You go from the AG to freaking
like a middle upper level position in the FBI. Yeah, no, he's being in a not weird way, he's being groomed for the attorney general spot.
Well, I mean,
Um,
Trump posted something with Pam Bondi yesterday. I mean, he's just got to fire her. Get rid of her already.
Look, Mike Garcia, he might not have the perfect background, but he was still an officer in the Navy he got up to like, fuck, he was a lieutenant commander if I remember correctly. That's if I remember correctly, that's an 05. Fucking no, 04. Yeah, it's the equivalent of made. Yeah, he got up to 04, and then he worked at Raytheon. Like Raytheon, DHS, DO, fucking D. I'm sorry, I'm not calling it the Department of War. It's not codified by Congress yet. That's still a decent background, and he was in office for a long time. He can hold on to it, maybe.
Yeah, let's go over super chats. Josh for 2. Hot take: Trump should govern from Mar-a-Lago more. I actually agree with that. For some reason, I think he's better in Mar-a-Lago because he's outside. The problem with the White House is it's stuck in the swamp.
Mar-a-Lago, he has a lot of visitors, people that show up and talk to him.
The White House, though, you're just stuck in the middle of the swamp. You're just stuck in it. So,
but I was told that on Thanksgiving Day in 2017, he flew away from Mar-a-Lago and spent time with Jeffrey Epstein.
Guys, it was a secret plane. A Candace Owen type conspiracy. We'll get Candace Owens in a second.
The second plane that shot JFK from the grassy knoll.
But like Trump needs to get out on the campaign trail.
Just get out of the freaking White House.
To get people elected, and get Trump out of the White House so we can get more people elected. We need more senators. We need more congressmen. Because when it comes to 2030 and redistricting, and we get Vance in office in 28, people are going to be shocked by just how fake the numbers are, how much more red the country is, and to bleed this into something else as to what I posted. Pam Bondi is now suing the state of Pennsylvania for a full voter record so they can see how many illegals are actually registered
what's
in the state
happened
of
in Pennsylvania's
Pennsylvania.
been shady as shit. For those that don't know what's going on, there's all these magical people coming out of the woodwork being activated in the voter rolls. I'm not even kidding. Like, the Republicans keep gaining like the new registrations. These voters out of nowhere, out of Philly, of course, they magically reactivated.
Philly, Schittsburg.
Guys, they've been dead they've been so unmotivated for years, but now they're so motivated to vote for a random Supreme Court election.
They're so motivated to vote for democracy.
Yeah,
something's happening for sure.
There's some shady shit happening in Pennsylvania. There's something going on there.
It is imperative we get those voter rolls. It is imperative that we get all of these candidates in 26. Dude, think about what would happen if Trump gets on the ground in Pennsylvania and he starts talking about how many illegals are actually registered to vote.
Yeah.
Think about how much of a fucking barnstorm that would be for the Republican electorate there. Because fraud definitely fucking excites the Republican voter base in Pennsylvania.
That's a conspiracy theory.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's a conspiracy theory to point out reality works. I'm sorry.
All right,
I'm just a Christ of fascist dictator who loves kicking puppies and like forcing raped women to
Okay. American Nerd for 2. I feel y'all have too much faith in voters. No, the thing with voters is they have a short attention span. I'm not trying to be insulted, but it's just a fact.
I am trying to be insulting. The average voter is a little silly, respectfully.
Median voter.
That's what I'm saying.
Both parties just love the median voter, by the way. We all love them.
We love them.
I trans heart the median voter.
Okay.
The average Trump Mom Donnie voter.
Spikes for 2. Trump was -20 at this point in his first term. Yeah, but guys, -7 or whatever is terrible news. That's a historical landslide. They're full of shit. Christopher Laurie for 5. When do you think the Supreme Court will come to a conclusion on the VRA case? Is it too late to change the maps? No, it's not too late.
It's going to be too late. It's probably going to be too late for the midterms, but it will be in time for
We'll
2028.
see. But guys, it sounds like they may go after birthright citizenship. They're taking up that case.
I would like to remind people, I pointed this out earlier this year. I mentioned it earlier this year. When asked about it earlier, like a few months ago, Amy Coney Barrett, so first off, in order for something to be heard like that, you have to have at least 4 judges willing to hear it, which means if we take the ones that are most reliable, Kavanaugh, Gorsuch, um, Alito and Thomas are all willing to hear it. And Barrett has used language from the original dissent of United States versus Camlog Arc.
Which
I was
one?
gonna say
Barrett
Barrett is
Barrett
the
has
swing vote in
Yeah,
the
she's the swing vote.
Barrett is the swing vote. Barrett is the swing vote, and she has openly used language, talking points from the original dissent on that case long ago. Which, unless Amy Coney Barrett is saying that she's one of the four, and I doubt she is, considering she tends to be the historical swing vote, I would not be surprised if it is 5-4 against right now.
What I think they're gonna rule, because again, like people bring up that case all the time. I still to this day think they misinterpreted that decision, by the way, because the whole case revolved around illegal immigrant. By the way, it wasn't a citizen or whatever, but he was his parents
I
were
was
legal.
say it was legal citizenship.
Yeah, it was his parents. I believe they were legal immigrants, but they weren't citizens. That's what it was, I think, right?
Yeah, they were permanent residents of the
Yeah,
state of
permanent
California.
residents, and that's a different story. I don't think they're going to overturn that. They're just going to say, clarify, hey, you can't just cross the border 5 seconds ago, give birth to somebody, and like something that's a citizen.
I would
No.
remind people of two things. There are two arguments that are two solid arguments against birthright citizenship for illegals. One, America is one of two countries, is one of two primarily Anglo countries that allows this. No country in Europe has just solely. Is that how you pronounce it?
Jus soli.
Yeah, it's just solely, which is basically birthright citizenship by virtue of being born on U.S. soil. It doesn't really matter. All of Europe, you have to have at least one parent who is either permanent resident or a citizen of that country or the EU.
For countries like the Netherlands, it has to be one parent, and you have to be forced to give up your citizenship for another state.
Yeah. So that's the one argument. America is that, and Canada is one of two countries in the of what we consider the global West that allows this. And
the global North.
Yeah, global North. And America and two, the 14th Amendment was designed to give freed slaves and their children citizenship.
Yeah.
We had to actually give Native Americans citizenship by just solely by legislation in the 1920s by Calvin Coolidge. We had to specify that Native Americans were under the fell under the jurisdiction thereof, which is what the 14th Amendment says. So the fact that we weren't giving Native Americans birthright citizenship by soil until the 1920s tells me that illegal aliens probably don't count.
Yeah, and the guy that originally wrote the amendment, he literally said it doesn't include aliens. He literally said that.
Yeah,
so
that was kind of the whole point. There is no historical or legal argument for birthright citizenship just solely because in reality, that's not what it was made for. There was a specific caveat of subject to the jurisdiction thereof.
Oh, but
we didn't give it to Native Americans until about 100 years ago, and it's one of the only countries in the global North that even pulls this kind of stunt. It's
I'd like to point out
that you could hop over the border 9 months pregnant and give birth to a U.S. citizen that now gives you more legal rights to avoid deportation. It's total fucking bullshit, is what it is.
Yeah, it's how again the whole thing is even the Juan case, that was a permanent resident. These people, they're just crossing the border, like you said, and just giving birth. How is that fair to anybody else that immigrates here legally?
I can't tell you how many fucking times I've handled the paperwork for a case where here, I'm going to give you an example. Y'all's minds are going to be fucking blown, but you're not going to be surprised. Are you ready to be hit with this?
Yep.
Sure, yeah.
Mexican lady, 34 years old. 2 children, 16 and 18 years old. Across the border, her kids are legal citizens, but she's not.
Yep.
She came over almost 20 years ago, gave birth when she was 16 years old, and then again when she was 18 years old. And those 2 kids are now legal citizens. You should not be coming over. Mexicans don't grant their citizens the right to vote until they're fucking 18 years old. You should not be coming over here below the voting age of your own home country, popping a kid out, and they're automatically entitled to citizenship.
How is
That's
that fair?
not how that works.
How is this fair to every single actual legal immigrant? How is that fair to them? They actually went through the legal process, and meanwhile, this guy can just cross the border and bam, he's a citizen, or he can't be deported because they have
How
a
is it
kid.
fair to fucking Native Americans who didn't even get the right until
They've
100
been here
years
for freaking 1,000 years, and they get shafted. They don't get it till 100 years
had to.
after.
We had to write specific legislation to allow Native Americans to get birthright citizenship just solely because it wasn't birthright citizenship just solely. That's not what the 14th Amendment does. It's never been like that. Despite what any case law says, it's bullshit. Legal immigrants, whatever, fine. We can say that they technically could qualify for it because they're subject to the jurisdiction thereof.
I think
But if Native
qualifies.
Americans aren't subject, how the fuck are illegal subject to the jurisdiction thereof?
I mean, it took that. I didn't realize the Native American thing. I didn't even realize about that.
No. Europe does not give a fuck. If you come into France or Germany, 9 months pregnant and pop out a fucking Somali, you are not staying there. That kid does not get U.S. citizenship. Both of you go home. In the United States, you're giving your kid's given citizenship. You're now given an anchor baby, and you can do whatever the fuck you want
And
because you
get
have a kid. And
welfare.
if they try to
Breaking
deport
news.
you,
The thing with Europe
Breaking
is
news.
What?
yeah.
We have information about the Jan 6 pipe bomber.
Oh
good.
boy.
Was he some Redditor?
No, he was a brony.
Oh my god.
God. Well, same thing.
He
Yes.
actively obsessed over My Little Pony online.
Guys, this is totally a Trump supporter, by the way.
it's big news.
Yeah, this is a Trump supporter. Yeah, Trump supporter. A black My Little Pony fan. Demographically, statistically speaking, very inclined to support Trump.
Yeah, no, I think the thing with France, Germany, UK is like, yeah, they don't have birthright citizenship, but they're also much less likely to deport people because they don't have the infrastructure and their laws are fucking crazy. But it's
Yeah,
just a bit
but,
of a
like,
different problem they have there.
It is true. They actually don't. They are more lax, but the problem is, I think it doesn't really matter if you don't really deport them. Once you start giving people citizenship by virtue of just popping out, fucking a mile off the U.S. border, you are giving them more rights. You are giving them complete and total access to our welfare system, complete and total access to our voting system. You get pretty much every privilege and none of the responsibilities, because what fucking illegal alien born to a U.S. or a citizen born to a illegal alien is going to actually follow the responsibilities and the oath that most immigrants are supposed to take in this country?
In the old world, in all of Africa, Asia, and Europe, there is only one country that is equally as unrestricted with birthright citizenship laws on Josoli.
Which
You know
one
what
is
that country is?
what is it like? I'm gonna guess. Is it a European country?
No, it's
Turkey.
fucking Pakistan.
What?
Wow, that's a
Yeah.
that's a
That's
Pakistan is
great.
the Pakistan, and that is explicitly because they left their border open for Muslim Indians and Bengalis fleeing the Raj. The only reason that they have that law like that is because they let in millions and millions of Muslim Indians from the fucking Republic of India. Other than that, they are the only country that offers birthright citizenship by right of soil.
I'm not even
Wow.
gonna lie. It's like, yeah, like apart from Muslim Indians and maybe some Afghans, like I don't think many people want to move there.
Commander John for 2, Trump 2020 is happening. No, it's not. Lord Rhino for 2. The UK does have birthright citizenship, and that's a UK citizen. So I don't know about that, but most of Europe has the. Yeah.
No, I'm looking at the Wikipedia page for Just
I would
Solely.
like to point out that so you guys know that kind of, that saying where like Britain's like a solid 50 or so years ahead of most European countries and America when it comes to their laws and shit.
Oh no,
I would
the
like to
UK
point-
abolished Just Solely about 40 years ago.
1981, Britain eliminated. Hell, Italy Italy. Why did I say that? Like Italy
What the hell was
restricted it
that?
earlier this year. The Italian nationality law was amended in this year of 2025 to restrict it further. The fucking Europeans are restricting their birthright citizenship laws both by land and by blood, by right of soil and right of blood.
Okay, here it is. The UK has just solely only if parents have the right to reside. So legal immigrants have just solely. Illegals do not.
Okay.
Denmark only gives it to them if they live in Denmark for the first 19 years of their life. Portugal, Ireland, and all have to have parents. But the parents have to have residency for more than 3 years. Belgium is 10 years of residency. France is just at least one parent was born in France.
And I'd like to point out all of these European countries have much more extreme counter-preventative measures to ensure that there is not economic parasitism going on. Denmark, if you don't have a job and you're a legal resident or whatever, like if you're not a fucking citizen and you can't maintain a job and you're not if you're not a European Union nation member or in Denmark, if you are not a Danish citizen or a citizen of a country within the European Union and you don't have a job for a year or more, you automatically get deported. We don't have that in America. Europe, sure, they have these rules and whatnot, but you need to understand these European countries have much more extreme counter-preventative measures. Well, we don't have any. Europe, the European nations, they have ways to get rid of people who are parasites. The immigrants coming into most of these countries, other than like from the fucking Middle East, like these countries, like these African fucking immigrants go into the Netherlands or Europe because they're like high performing Nigerians with high academic scores and whatnot. They actually contribute. But Sweden with these fucking Somalis or America with the Somalis, they don't do shit. And unlike us, Sweden has counter-preventative measures, and they have been getting rid of Somalis
right.
for like 5 or 6 years now.
All
I'm
right,
sorry for the long-winded response,
No,
but
that's
like
fine.
that's what it is. We don't have any countermeasures, which is why we need to exit to begin with and ramp up these mass deportations.
Oh my gosh. People
What,
are
Trump
saying
threatening Chicago funding?
no. JD Vance put out another banner on Twitter. Oh my god.
What happened this time?
So this freaking nutcase, like she posted an AI image of like JD Vance and his wife like having a loud argument at a restaurant, and JD Vance
I
responded
always
with,
wear an undershirt when I go out in public to have a fight loudly with my wife.
He's wearing a fucking wife beater.
"Oh my
Yeah, he's wearing a fucking wife beater.
This or opposition, everybody.
Ah.
Yes, AI generated images of fucking like. Let me pull up the image. This is so obviously fake. Guys, JD Vance goes in public and yells at his wife. You guys know that?
Why is he wearing a
I-
shirt
Yeah.
I can't believe we're gonna have wife beater Vance Graper soon.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, fucking howling wife beater.
Oh jeez.
Howling wife beater.
I still love the fact that JD Vance has a burner and everybody knows it.
Oh, I know what his burner is.
I do too.
It's at something Uneco, known as
This is true,
Dyron
this is true,
Towers.
this is true.
Follow him on Twitter.com.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I
No,
love.
I don't know what his banner is, but I've been alluded to what his not banner, his alt burner.
I kind of know what it is. I think I do know.
DM me. I want to see if
Yeah.
if I
Yeah. DM me it. DM me
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
DM me it.
Anyways, so in other news, everybody, we gotta talk about Candace Owens. Yay!
Oh god.
So much.
You guys love Candace Owens.
I'm a big Candace Owens
So Candace Owens, she got a new source to put
Oh,
to
God.
Charlie Kirk. So let me pull this up right here. So Candace Owens Justin, Candace Owens claims she now has proof that the U.S. military was involved with Kirk's assassination. Owens says she received an email from a man in the military, which she claims she received last night. It feels like today will be the day that the government can no longer deny it. Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and our
I swear to
military was
God,
involved.
if that was Luke joining because we're talking, it's fucking. He's. Yeah.
Because we're talking about Candace Owens.
I haven't even been watching the stream.
So-
I just left.
Dude, you joined right as we were talking about ready to start starting to talk about Candace
So
Owens.
Candace Owens now says that the U.S. military killed Kirk because somebody emailed her. Allegedly, somebody in the military.
Source military.
Yeah, it's the military.
Source.
I love how it says a man in the military.
She's literally doing the source military meme, but she's being unironic.
So we have now come to a point where the U.S. military worked with the
Black Ford Raptor
Egyptian-
trucks, 18 U.S. Marines.
what?
No, the U.S. Okay, I've got it marked down. The U.S. military collaborated with the Egyptian government, Turning Point, and a Mormon death cult called the Beekeepers in order to take out Charlie Kirk.
Hold up,
And
Hold up, wait. There's an app called Tinder for Kids. What the fuck?
What?
I just saw this. There's apparently an app called Wiz. It's called Tinder for Kids.
Oh my!
No,
What?
no. Can we do untoward things to people who made this app?
Whoa, you're telling me that there's predators on that app? Who could have possibly guessed such an app would like?
Okay, anyways. K-Cup for 2. Imagine if Usha got in on the meme game like JD. She knows what the memes. I guarantee you she does. She has to. Mike Finn for 2. Thoughts of girl boss Crockett announcement. Yeah, Crockett's running for Senate. Good luck in Texas. Good luck.
Yeah, we streamed about that last night. We had
Yeah.
a whole Real
Yeah.
Texan and I are in disagreement. Real Texan thinks that Telrico will beat her in the primary. I think she's going to win the primary.
Oh, by the
Um,
way, Mark Mitchell made a tweet. He's dropping a new poll soon.
Wow.
Apparently, blowing up narco boats is most popular with people under 30. Wow.
Wow, no shit. I'm getting so sick of freaking
Never.
Barris. Every time Barris talks at this point, it's like, oh, guys, Trump blowing up these terrorists is actually a bad thing. It's actually unpopular.
Yeah, just fuck Barris, actually.
Seriously, how can you say blowing up narco terrorists are a bad thing, let alone unpopular?
Because
This-
him and Robert Barnes are in that new like anti-war man, hippie shit.
Well, not really Mark Mitchell, but like Barris is.
No, I meant to say Barris and Barnes.
Oh,
Fucking
yeah,
Robert Barnes.
Barnes
that's
lost
what
his
I was
mind
thinking
months ago. Now it's going to Barris.
of. Like Robert
Okay,
Barnes
I
is
gotta
like
get going. I'll see you guys later.
Alright,
Goodbye.
see ya.
Just remember, everyone, go vote.
Yeah.
Chief Officer Henry Wilder for 5. Every day she chooses the new conspiracy. Like 3 weeks it was the FBI, then the CIA, and what happened to the Polish underground cult beekeepers. Yeah. So again, I'm working. Listen, the timeline is the Israeli government wanted to kill Charlie Kirk because he was not pro-Israel enough. Wasn't he still pro-Israel to the day he died?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, he was kind of turning on them like a tiny bit, but
Yeah,
like, he
but
was still pro
Well,
Israel.
everybody is. Everybody's like, stop killing innocent kids. Stop it.
Yeah, so then Israel decided to, instead of getting blood on their hands, they decided to outsource it to their
To
their very good friend Egypt that they totally don't have
Yeah,
constant
so
fucking
they-
conflicts.
The Egyptian military the government takes control of it. They have a giant transport plane following Kirk around for everywhere he goes. Same thing with Erica Kirk. There's a giant Egyptian plane right there. It's like, would you notice this giant Egyptian plane going across the country with you? Would you notice that? And like it was
Like you
fall-
just look behind your plane and you just see a fucking Egyptian plane just.
well, I mean, she claimed it was going on for like 6 months.
Yep.
Yeah. So now, and then they worked with the U.S. military to get some kind of Mormon bee death cult called the Beekeepers to go kill Kirk. But my question is, how does that prove Tyler Robinson's innocent? That's my question. Could he be the shooter anyways?
Yes.
Is she gonna start a protest outside of Tyler
Again,
Robinson?
she's doing this shit so freaking Tyler Robinson gets off the hook. I guarantee you, one juror's gonna think Tyler Robinson's innocent because Candace Owens proved that it was the freaking Egyptians or some shit. The bee death cult.
The Egyptians did this.
Yeah, the Egyptians. Where's the second plane?
What?
I don't know. This whole thing is a joke.
The second Egyptian plane shot, like it was parked on top of the university, you know, and
This
they
is
didn't
true,
notice. Like they
This
were so
whole thing.
focused.
There was a fucking VTOL on top of the roof. Yeah.
Well, remember, there was freaking originally they were saying that the cameras were actually the gun. Remember that?
This is true. He was actually shot by the camera pointed at him. Yeah.
Yeah, the camera was
And then
the
the
gun.
bees, the beekeepers released the bees to
And
like.
there's a secret sewer system below the university. There is a Mormon bee death cult underneath it. It's a joke. Commander John for 2, Paxton 26, Dan Patrick 2026, and Trump 2028. Trump's not running for the 100th time. It's not going to happen.
Why are
It'd be
people
fun.
trying to will this into existence? No one wants
Never
it
forget
anymore.
clowns like Ian Carroll were. Yeah, thank you for bringing this up. Never forget clowns like Ian Carroll were calling Kirk a Zionist shill days before his assassination.
Oh yeah.
And now act
By
like,
the
I
way,
hate
Ian-
that.
Ian Carroll was Ro Khanna did a video with Ian Carroll without
Wait,
knowing who
what?
he was. Yeah, he posted a video. He posted a video on his page of Ian Carroll. They were talking about the
Well, I mean-
Israel lobby, and he didn't know who he was. And
Yeah,
then
that
afterwards,
guy's
he's
a
like,
nutcase.
"I'm
That whole
sorry, I
crowd
didn't
has
know.
just
I
lost
didn't know
it.
Ian Carroll was an anti-Semite."
And on top of that, I mean, you guys hear about the now hear about like now they like say like we shouldn't deport the Somalians. You guys hear about that? That's a new narrative with these people.
See, the Jews want you to. I'm sorry, the Israelis want you to deport Somalis. You actually can't deport Somalis.
These freaking people. I'm not even joking. And it's like, well, no, the founding fathers, they wanted to ban the Jew. Guys, go look up what Thomas Jefferson and James Madison wrote about like freedom of religion. Seriously, just go look it up. This freaking idea the founding fathers would have banned them, that's bullshit. This is stupid. George Washington, same thing. He had a famous letter on this. It's just, these people are dumb. They have no clue what they're talking about, and they're pushing bullshit. Seriously, like, why are they shilling for these people now?
Never forget too, Napoleon, one of the greatest figures in Western
Napoleon.
civilization. He's evil because he gave Jews equal rights under the law of humanity. That video, he's just like, "Did you know?
And he got the dates wrong.
Everyone likes Napoleon, but he gave Jews equal rights." And it's like,
And he got the dates.
okay,
Funny enough,
cool.
the funny
That
thing is
sounds
like
good.
the dates that he gave were incorrect because he was still like a corporal. He wasn't even the government yet.
And then I saw that video of that Hispanic female griper. I was not aware they existed, where she was talking about how fucking Christopher Columbus was a Jew because he left. So he left on his vacation. No, he left to go discover the New World a week after the Jews were banned from Spain. So that means that he was Jewish, even though like the Spanish government funded the voyage.
Columbus was a freaking Italian. What?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you gotta love these conspiracy theorists. You gotta just love them.
What?
Let me guess. The Egyptian plane was following his boat.
Yeah,
too.
the Egyptian plane. It went back in time.
It was actually it existed long before. You know, Frank Lloyd Wright. They based their thing off that Egyptian plane. You know
This is
that.
nuts. Your average American in 1780 wouldn't have liked Jews very much, but the average founding father had a little issue with the Jews. Well, yeah, that's the same. That's what people don't understand. They literally said they should be allowed in America, and these dumbasses like said we had to ban them. It's like the founding fathers, like they may disagree with the religion, but they openly talked about like there's freedom of religion for a reason. I think even Thomas Jefferson said like Muslims could be American for crying out loud. So what does
there were like 5 Jews in America in the 1700s, and they were
That's-
all like really like Sephardic, super similar to Sephardic. So it's like,
Yeah,
okay, who
again, like,
cares?
Yeah, again, like obviously what we have now is not good, but it's like this idea that it's just absurd. These people just have no clue what they're talking about. So, Chief Officer Henry Wilder for 5. Candace Owens did it. That's why she's jumping from conspiracy to conspiracy. She's covering up. Yeah, Candace Owens killed Kirk.
This is true. The military told me this.
The Egyptian plane destroyed the Aztec Empire. Yeah, the Aztec Empire was actually good, guys. But they wanted to take it down. They did. It's a joke.
I will say, it seems like Republicans are generally voting in Miami. They've got a competitive.
Oh yeah, there's an election tonight. I will not be streaming that, but Luke, are you tonight?
I don't think I will because no one's going to make it, and it's a pretty small election. It's just one
guess.
race. I believe I believe there is a congressional race up though. I'm not sure, or there's like a state house seat or something. Let me look.
Let's see here. She deceives
Yeah,
people
I'm
with
not
low
gonna
attention
stream it.
spans. Well, yeah, she keeps changing the story. Like when we make jokes with the Egyptian stuff, but seriously, she has changed her story 100 times. She literally said it was the Egyptians, then it was the CIA, then it was the Polish, then it was President Trump, then it was Erica Kirk, then it was freaking, I don't know, Christopher Columbus did it. Who freaking knows? I don't know
No,
anymore.
Christopher Columbus and Napoleon were both brought back by
Is there a
Trump.
country she has not blamed for this? Like at this point,
No.
Qatar.
Qatar. I think it's Qatar, but
And Russia, you know, it definitely won't be
Iraq,
Russia. so, yeah.
Pakistan.
China she hasn't blamed. Maybe
Funny
she
how
has.
that works.
She probably has blamed China, I'm going to be honest.
The
That's-
Egyptian plane with Jewish bean death cult members were brainwashed with the CIA. No, not Bean, it's B. She really thinks she thinks there's a killer bee death cult in Utah, which it probably does exist. For crying out loud, but I don't know.
Just the beekeepers, bro. I love this.
Yeah, that's your name now, the
Fucking
beekeepers. It's sad.
I'm the keeper of the bees. I'm the keeper of the bees.
I mean, like, seriously, there's one thing to do actual investigations, but we got to a point that even Tim Pool's fully done with your shit. And he usually, like, he doesn't get this angry, but he was pissed off yesterday. You guys see that clip?
Yeah.
He just,
he's
had enough.
getting like, no, you know why? Because he had an assassination attempt, or at least someone came by his like place. So he's sick and tired of like, there's this actual violence taking place. There's actual left-wing violence.
And
people like Candace want to act like it's just like, oh, it's just.
Candace Owens is generally like, she's not only a disgusting person, she's like a liability.
Yeah, because here's the thing though, because she purposely adds fuel to the fire by pushing this bullshit conspiracy that, guys, everybody's involved with Kirk's assassination. The Egyptian plane came down with the Israeli bee death cult. I don't know anymore. And it makes people think everything's a conspiracy. And then when anybody questions it, Candace Owens can say, Tim Pool is part of the problem. He was involved also. It makes schizophrenics think about the crazy shit. And he's done with this crap. I mean, his family nearly got shot. I mean, look at Matt Walsh. Same thing. You hear about that? His family nearly got killed. It's nuts. And people like Candace Owens, they add fuel to the fire by pushing this bullshit. That's what we make jokes about it, but it's a serious issue. And I don't know how to deal with it. K-Cup for 5. Charlie was close to cracking the code of Five Nights at Freddy's, so Matt Pat and the government took him out to protect the lore. Owens eventually. That's real. But other news, everybody. Before we end today's stream, you guys see what MTG did or said?
She went on 60 Minutes. And she's the new Liz Cheney. She's the new Bill Crystal.
It got even worse today because MTG had a sit-down interview with CNN of old networks. Remember when everybody avoided CNN? Every like halfway decent Republican avoided it. Remember that? MTG like said CNN is fake news. She went on CNN. I wanted to bring this up because this is just insane. And she was asked, what's your response to these latest attacks from President Trump? MTG said, I feel very sorry for President Trump. I do. It has to be a hard place for someone that is constantly so hateful and puts so much vitriol, name calling, and really tells lies about people in order to try to get his way or some kind of fight. I think it's exactly what's wrong with America today. That's what's wrong with the toxic political environment that has ripped our country apart. That's poor leadership from a president. It's a very bad demeanor. Now, if you didn't know this was MTG, who does it sound like?
Elizabeth Lynn Cheney, Bill
Yeah.
Cassidy, Mitt Romney.
It's really
Actually
just Liz
worse.
Cheney. This is a R plus 50 Republican, everybody. It's just insane. And now, she's now claiming that President Trump is the reason nothing's getting done in the House and Senate. He is, and she literally said this, she is claiming that President Trump is like stopping all legislation from passing. Like he is the number one reason. He is like telling people to vote no on everything. But then it's coming out that President Trump, he can't even get the Senate to pass anything. He begs them and they refuse to do anything. So she's just lying. She's going around lying and blaming Trump for toxic environment and then calls him a hateful person. Man, what a principled conservative, everybody. Such a bullshit. John for 2. Candace Owens is low IQ, just like MTG, traitor. Yeah. Okay. Do we miss anything? Did we go through everything, I think, right? Surely.
I don't know. I'm not reading the chat. Gotta go.
All right, I do gotta go, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next stream, video, or wherever you see us at. Godspeed to all of you.